Good evening and welcome to the third day in this series, in this bootcamp, the seventh cohort of Teach for Life free digital training. You are welcome from wherever you are joining us. And if it is evening over at your side, good evening. If it is an afternoon over at your side, good afternoon. If it is morning, good morning. Whatever it is, you're welcome. All right, so welcome to today's training on Blogpreneur. Now we have successfully looked at two areas of digital training. The first one was YouTubepreneur, if my memory serves me right, and that was on day one. Yesterday, day two, the training was on Bookpreneur, how to write books, how to get them formatted, platforms to publish them, and eventually make money. And today, by God's grace, this training will center on Blogpreneur, how to monetize the activities around blogging. Okay, and that is what we are going to be learning this third day by God's grace. Okay, so as usual, I would love you to help me confirm as soon as you can see my slides, because I would love us to look at a few things before we go into the practical. So the moment you are able to see my PowerPoint presentation, please help me confirm on the chat group with a 1. All right. Is that a 1 or a question? Thank you. That is a 1. All right, thank you. So I see 2 1s, meaning people can see my screen, and that is good. We are ready to roll. All right. So I can't go into this training and just start showing you how to blog without explaining who exactly is a blogpreneur. What activities will qualify one as a blogpreneur? What tools does one require to become a blogpreneur? And then what is even the aim of a blogpreneur? What is a blogpreneur looking for? What makes his blogs different from other blogs on the cyberspace? Now, who exactly is a blogpreneur? A blogger with a business mindset is a person we call a blogpreneur. And there's a reason why I usually keep these definitions as simple as possible within just a sentence, sometimes with the average of about 7-9 words. He's a blogger or she's a blogger with a business mindset. And anywhere I go and I do trainings, especially on Blogpreneur, I tell people that everybody can be a blogger, but not everyone is a blogpreneur. I like to start my training this way because it will help me shift your mindset and give you the platform to see this from a better view. Every person on the cyberspace today can be a blogger, but not every blogger is a blogpreneur. And what exactly does that mean? A blogpreneur is a blogger, but a blogger might not be a blogpreneur. And I like using this analogy. I say every taxi driver, for example, every taxi driver is a driver. But not every taxi driver, not every driver is a taxi driver, but every taxi driver is a driver. Okay? There are people who have cars, they drive, but they don't drive for commercial purposes. They don't drive taxis. They drive their private vehicles. They are drivers. Then you have drivers who are taxi drivers. They also drive. Today on the cyberspace, I see people doing a lot of blogging. Some are aware that they are blogging. Some are not even aware that they are blogging. And people blog on Facebook, they blog on WordPress, they blog on WhatsApp, even on YouTube. Okay? There's a provision for blogging on YouTube. So surprised that a lot of people do not know that. But the kind of blog you create and the strategy you adopt to send it out there is what differentiates a blogger and a blogpreneur. Now, a blogger creates content with income goals. Okay? We are trying to set apart the differences now. A blogpreneur is a blogger, but one who creates content with income goals in mind. On the other hand, it means that a blogger is one who creates content without income goals in mind. He's just having fun. He's just there to play. He's just there to do violence. He's just there to see what is happening. But he's not really intent. She's not strategic. She's not purposeful. She just comes there, drops whatever blog she wants to drop, and go. But a blogpreneur's contents have income behind everything that he or she does. Every single word in that blog content is fashioned in such a way that income will come in. The pictures that he or she will pick and insert in the blog content is purposeful, is to drive income. The tags that he or she will put in that content has reasons to bring income. His categorizations are not anyhow. It is because he's trying to make money. Even the title of his content is deliberate. It is to bring income. Everything about his blog, the number of words. A blogpreneur will not just write blogs for you. Sometimes you see them limiting themselves to 500 word blog count, maybe 700 word count, maybe 1,002 word count. There is a reason depending on their target, who is going to read the content. All these are strategies and they are intentional steps. And only a blogpreneur understands this and does it. Okay? Then a blogpreneur is one who monetizes his traffic. Traffic are those people who will come to your site or your social media handle and engage with your content. They like it, they share it, some of them will share it, some of them will follow your page or your platform so that anytime you drop a new content, they will be among the first set of people to receive it. And all of some would ask questions, some would make comments. Those are your traffic. For one who is a blogger, he's just happy that, oh, I dropped a content on Facebook and I have 600 reactions. And he goes home happy because he's feeling popular. But beyond feeling popular, what happens? Nothing. Comes back the next day, drops another content, he gets 200 reactions and he's happy. He thinks he's popular in town. A blogpreneur is not concerned about the fame, the popularity. He is thinking, she is thinking, these 600 people that reacted to my content, they must have seen something. So now, how do I monetize them? How do I convert them? How do I get them to buy my book? How do I get them to buy my music? How do I get them to buy my workbook? How do I get them to subscribe to my channel? Maybe they just reacted but didn't subscribe. The person is thinking, how do I get them to buy my course, my bundles, my next webinar? How do I get them to come and attend the webinar? Possibly even invite friends along. So a blogpreneur does not look at the traffic as just number of people. Instead of people, he's seeing monetization there. Okay? So that's who a blogpreneur is. So ladies and gentlemen, if you blog with this mindset, with these strategies, with these approaches behind your content, then you are a blogpreneur. But if peradventure before now you have just been blogging without any of these three things that I have mentioned, then you are simply a blogger. And tonight we want to move you from that end of being a common blogger, a regular blogger, an everyday blogger, to a specific intentional strategic blogger, which is the blogpreneur, because you need to start making money. Okay? All right, so let's move on. Now that we know who a blogpreneur is, let's move on. And let's look at some further differences between blogging and blogpreneurship. People who blog simply express their minds. They don't care whether you agree with them or not. They are not out to make money. They are not selling any product. No books, no webinars, no music, no workbooks, no nothing, They just express their minds and they go. And a typical blog that belongs to a blogger is this one that, so maybe, for example, you just see the person saying, today I woke up and I had a bar for breakfast, then I jogged around, and then bestie came, and it was, a very sweet time. We talked about so many things, blah, 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 and that's all. A blogpreneur, on the other hand, you will see strategy in the content of the person. Possibly the title is explosive. The content is probably addressing a problem or even making you aware that there's a problem in the first place. And then you see some intentional pictures. Then maybe in the blog content, you will see links. Oh, follow this link to buy this book. Follow this link to join this blog. Follow this link to access this webinar or course, etc. You might even see affiliate other people's products there, affiliate marketing. And then at the end, most likely, very commonly, a call to action, CAT. After reading the blog, you now say, okay, I'm challenging you, if you want to change your story, to do the following things over the next few days. Very strategic and purposeful and intentional as well. A blogger considers his blogging platform as a journal. He just wakes up and just starts telling people how his day went by. That's a typical blogging site. But a blogpreneur site will solve problems. Because one thing that will cause people to become loyal to you is when they discover that they can find solutions to their problems in your content. If your content does not address their problems, then they won't likely engage you. Even these comedians, that you see them doing shows, and sometimes you see them charging 200 naira for VIP table, 500 naira VIP table, 5 million. They are solving problem. And what is the problem? People are stressed. People are angry. People are depressed. So they do things to make you laugh. And for that few moments, you forget your problem. That's why you see people here in Nigeria today willing to pay 10 million naira for a VIP table for a 4-hour show. To them, their problem is being solved. Blogging, because there is no strategy, because it is just a journal, because it is an expression of the mind, the person has random topics. Anything goes. Today, the person is dropping a content on maize farming. Tomorrow, the person is dropping a content on fashion design. Next tomorrow, he sees an accident at the junction close to his house and he begins to blog about it and report it. Just random topics. You can't predict what nature of topics will come up on his blog post. You can't. Even he himself cannot predict it because anything goes. But for a blogpreneur, because this guy, this lady is intentional, is strategic, is purposeful, is looking for ways to solve problems, you can predict the kind of content that will come from his site or her site. Monetization is the driving force. And I always say it, blogpreneurs even have calendars of production. You may not know it, but behind the scene, they have a calendar. This month, this is what I want to blog about. The following month, these are the contents I will drop. And then in between, they will leave provision for special things, special days like Valentine's. If you have been on the social media space, you see people, purposeful blogpreneurs, designing contents around February 14th because it's a special day. Okay, so blogpreneurs approach their blog contents with intentions. So now, the blogpreneur mindset, because we need to shift our mindset before we even go into the training today. Always think value before traffic. A blogger thinks about the traffic before value. A blogger is just happy that 9,000 people reacted to his content on Facebook. And then so what? Nothing. But for you, the blogpreneur, because that is the mindset, that is the direction you are going to take this evening. You are thinking of value. Now that 900 people have reacted to my content, how do I convert these 900 people into money? In fact, stop seeing people, start seeing money. For every 900 reaction, imagine each 900 is 1,000 naira. Start looking at 900,000 naira. And then, bad as it may be, 900,000 naira, how do I make at least 500,000 out of it? Yes, it's true. Not everyone will subscribe to your service or your product, but some should. And you are interested in those ones that will. So you think value before the traffic. And because you are thinking value before the traffic, your content will be purposeful and intentional. You will not drop any kind of content. You want to drop a content that will give people value for their time. Even if that content is free. They say that in life, nothing is absolutely free. Somehow somebody pays for it. So even if your content is free, the data that the person will use to sit on his or her system and engage your content is money. The time that the person will sit down reading your content or viewing your content translates to money. So you want to give the person value for that time. You want to give the person value for that data. And that's the only way that at the end of the day, when you drop your call to action and you say, follow this link to purchase this book, follow this link to register for this webinar, follow this link to do this or do that, the person will do it. Because the person is thinking to himself, okay, behind this link, there is more value. If just coming at this screen now, just here, I'm getting this much value, then I'm very sure by the time I follow this link, I will get even more value. 2, solve one clear problem. Every of your blog content should try as much as possible to solve at least a problem. I don't even subscribe to a content trying to solve more than a problem because you have enough time ahead of you. If you will develop the mindset and the perseverance, the right attitude to drop at least one blog post a day. How many days do we have in a year? 365 days. So it means you are dropping 365 posts. Why are you rushing? Just take your time. 365 problems. One blog per problem. Your blog is solving one clear problem. And by the time people read 20 of your blog posts and they discover that for each of these blog posts, a problem is being addressed, they will be willing to read the next 20. Write with the reader's wallet in mind. Okay? Always read your content. When you write your content, read it again. Assume the role of the reader. If I am the reader, will I be willing to part with money based on what this content is saying? Okay? Don't write what you like. This thing sounds sweet to me. I like this topic. I love the... No. It's not for you. It's for the reader. And it is not for the reader. It is for the money in the reader's wallet. If you have been to my seminar before where I talked about value exchange, you understand one of the things I said there, that the reason why people are poor today is because they have not learned to exchange value for money. People will not just give you money like that. You are not a beggar. Only beggars ask for money without exchanging anything for value. And that is why they are subject to what the person feels like giving them. You can't come and beg me for 100 naira and then becomes imperative for me to give you 100. You can ask me for 100 naira. I can decide to give you 10 naira because you are begging and you are not exchanging anything of value to me. But if you bring a good handbag and you tell me, oh, that this handbag is 100 naira, it will serve your purpose. It will help you carry your laptop. It will help you carry your money. It is waterproof. Even when rain falls and beats you on the street, your items will be safe and blah, 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 blah. By the time I begin to see that, yes, indeed, too, it's like this handbag will help me, to move my items and just make things relatively easy for me. I will bring out that 100 naira and give you in exchange for that handbag. So please, this applies to Blogpreneur as well. Indeed, to all digital business. If you want people to remove their hard-earned money and give it to you, then your service must carry value. Okay? Your service must carry value. It is not it may carry value, it must carry value if you want them to part with money. All right, the core tools of a Blogpreneur. ChatGPT, again, okay? What people call the magic tool, the armor bearer of the digital entrepreneur. The tool that you can do without. It helps you generate ideas and structure your content better than you yourself can do it. Tool number 2 that you need is Gemini or any good graphic tool. Okay, but I mentioned Gemini here because sometimes Gemini can help you conceptualize what is in your mind better than templates that people have dropped on platforms like Canva. There are pictures that I may go to and look for in Canva and may not find. Maybe even go to Google Photos and still not find. Perhaps try Pixels and not find. But Gemini is a responsive generating AI in the sense that I can give it a prompt, just like ChatGPT, and tell it to generate pictures from that prompt. As long as I can put my thoughts that are in my head into clear instructions, into clear prompts, Gemini will try as much as possible to interpret my thought in pictorial form. Then I can carry my picture and work with it for my content. Okay. Tool number 3, WordPress. Yesterday when we did Blogpreneur, we talked about the 5 tools here: ChatGPT, the publishing platform, and MS Word, which is good for formatting. But for this, WordPress is your preferable platform. Okay? WordPress is like your publishing site, the way you have Amazon KDP for bookpreneur business. You go there, you upload your book, you give it a price, you give it a description, and then people come there and they see it and they buy. It's the same way. WordPress is where you go and drop your content. And then you structure it whether for free or subscribe or whatever, and people go there and they read your content and engage your content. So that platform is what you need. It's one of the core tools that you need to success as a Blogpreneur. And WordPress is not the only platform. There are so many platforms out there, 1,000 of them. I don't even know how many there are. I know there is Buy Me a Coffee is there. Is it Blogger is there? GoDaddy is there. Weebly is there. There are just lots of them there. But WordPress is one that we encourage you to use. There is a reason to it. Later on, I'll explain the reason. Okay? But WordPress is good and is recommendable. And then, of course, finally, tool number 4. Any of my presentations, when I mention core tools, whether it's Bookpreneur or Blogpreneur or YouTubepreneur or whatever preneur, I always add this one there: your brain. Your brain. Because one of my coaches will say, tools are made for you. You are not made for tools. These guys are just tools that will help me bring out what I want, but they can't bring out what I want for me on their own. It is my ability to bring them together and use them in such a way that I achieve my objective that will cause me to succeed or not. It's just like a football coach. They can have the best players on the field, but if that guy lacks the creativity to know what position to put what player there, then he doesn't have a team. And we have seen that happen severally, right? Especially for those of us who watch football. Good 11 players on the field, world-class players, but no result. Okay? Because the coach has failed to utilize them appropriately. All right. So let's look closely at some of these tools, one after the other. ChatGPT, what do you use it for exactly as a blogpreneur? You use ChatGPT to generate topics. You can come up with a content and tell ChatGPT, give me a very marketable, highly engaging topic for this my content. In fact, give me 5, let me see, so that I'll select which one goes well with my content. ChatGPT can help you do that better than you can do it yourself. It will give you as many topics as possible. And then you look at the topics that you think work best with your content and you go. ChatGPT can help you create content outlines for your blog content. It can also help you test your headlines. You say, this headline, do you think it will go with this audience that I have in mind? This set of people, these are my readers. Do you think this? And ChatGPT will tell you, okay, well, among these 7 headlines, this one will most likely resonate with your readers, followed by this one, followed by the other one, in that order. But then, of course, it is still your content. You are at liberty to decide which one to go with. But trust ChatGPT to always give you the best advice as much as it can. Content expansion. Okay? Sometimes you may experience what we call brain freeze, author's block. You write the content, you get to like 300 word count, and then you are stuck. Your call of action, you are confused. How exactly do you structure your call of action? How do you expand your content? If you meet a deadlock like that, you take your content back to ChatGPT, upload it, and tell it, okay, this is my content, but I am stuck. Help me expand it, and it will expand it. All right. If you get this so far, please give me a 3 on the chat. If you get this so far, please give me a 3 on the chat. All right, thank you. I see those 3s. If you get this, please give me a 3 on the chat. Thank you, Coach Adesapit. Thank you, Mr. Samuel Bambu. Thank you, Madam Grace. Okay, so let's move on. ChatGPT works with instructions. All bloggers must be intentional with their instructions or their prompts. In fact, not blogpreneurs, rather, sorry. Bloggers, on the other hand, sometimes they don't even use ChatGPT. It's what comes to their mind. As the thing is just coming, they are just dropping it because they don't have a strategy, they don't have a concern. All they want to do is to show face there. Today I was on the internet and people reacted to it. Blogpreneurs usually use tools because they have a strategy. They need something to help them. And so blogpreneurs understand that their prompts must be smart prompts. Because garbage in, they say garbage out. So some of the things you should bring into your prompts as a blogpreneur is that your prompt should ask for problem-based topics. If you don't know what to blog about, no idea, you can simply ask ChatGPT to create topics for you, but these topics should be problem-based topics. Because I'll always advise your blog content must, as much as possible, address a problem. It is your ability to capture a problem and show that you have solution to that problem that will make people sit down and want to engage with your content. 2, always specify your audience clearly to ChatGPT. Even if your niche is universal, is worldwide. Try to specify the audience worldwide. Later on, I will give ChatGPT a prompt because we are going to go practical. We will create a blog post and then we'll upload that content on WordPress. But before then, we'll prompt ChatGPT and you will see how I will specify to ChatGPT my audience. So that as it is generating the content, it will generate the content with that audience in mind, in such a way that the content will resonate with the audience. The moment the audience is reading the content, it will be like the content is speaking directly to them. You know, the way sometimes you go to church and then the preacher preaches a sermon and then that day you come back home and you are like, this man was just talking to me directly. Aha, that is where we are heading to. That is what we are looking at. That the content will talk to the person specifically as if it was written for just that one person out of over the 10 billion population in the world. And it is only when the content hits that person that the person will want to react to it. Requires monetization angles. They ask ChatGPT, what and what can I do that will bring monetization out of this content, especially with this specific audience in mind. Okay, so your smart prompts, your prompt should carry these factors at the back of it as you give ChatGPT your prompt. You don't just give it a prompt anyhow. Write a book for me, write a content for me on the business of goat rearing. That is too big. Who are you addressing? What area of the world? What weather are you looking at? What species of goat actually? And what are you even rearing the goat for? Is it milk or meat? No, you need to be specific. Okay. Using Gemini for blog graphics. Gemini will help you come up with your featured images. Your featured images are those images or that image that people will see. It can be more than one, but basically try to just keep yourself to one. That image that people will see when they read your content is, well displayed out there. It's the first thing they see before your content even. That is your featured image. And Gemini can help you create featured images. It can help you create blog illustrations if you prefer having illustrations within your content in your blog post. Some people do that. The featured image is there up there, like it is pinned. Then inside the blog content, you still have pictures, pictorials, and other things. Fine, no problem. Gemini has a way of even collaborating with Pinterest. If it doesn't have the graphics you are looking for, it can refer you to Pinterest where perhaps you may get that specific graphic that you are looking for. It helps to bring your storytelling into visual forms. As the person is reading your story, the person is seeing the picture and then is making a connection between the picture and the content, and understanding becomes even better. Remember, it is only when the person understands that the person will engage with. Recently, someone approached me about this Bitcoin business. I didn't do it. Not that I did not want to make extra money, but I did not understand his explanations. And I was just thinking to myself, how do I invest this amount of money when I don't understand how the investment will yield results? It's not that I didn't trust him. And it's not that I don't want to make extra money, but I did not understand the process. And simply because I did not understand the process, I decided not to venture into it. If people do not understand your content, they won't go further beyond reading the content. They won't follow your call of action. It is when they understand your content that they will take your call of action serious. Okay? All right, so that's what Gemini can do for you as far as graphic is concerned. Now, quickly, let's look at some graphic rules for blogpreneurs, because we are not bloggers. We are blogpreneurs. We blog with intentions. We blog with strategies. We blog with a purpose. And what is the purpose? Income. Monetization, that is just our purpose. Fame is not even our purpose. Money is our purpose. I always tell people, don't worry about fame. The money will bring the fame. Money comes with fame. but put money ahead of him. You don't put the cart before the horse. Now, graphic rules for blogpreneurs. Please try as much as possible to avoid clutter. And that's why I said even your featured image, if possible, have one. The platform has provision for you to have more than one picture, but I will advise you just stick to one, provided that picture is well structured and it is communicating your story. Don't worry. Fair and good. Don't bring in so many pictures and clutter the place, and then the person becomes interested in the pictures and loses interest in the content. The picture is only to help the person draw attention to the fact that there is a content here. If 10 people will put up content and only one person puts up a picture, okay, let's say 2 people put up pictures. One put up a black and white picture, the other one a colorful picture, the other 8 no picture at all. I'm telling you, people will notice the 2 people with the picture first before they notice the other 8. And then even among the 2, they will notice the one with the colorful picture ahead of the one with the black and white picture. It's a proven psychology. Number 2, let your visuals be clear. And thank God for AI today. You don't need to go and look for a picture that is blurred. If you can't find a good picture, go back to Gemini and ask Gemini to create a picture. They will always create good pictures for you, but please don't include a picture in your content that is blurry and cloudy and scratch and all of that. Okay? Except if that is part of your strategy. Brand consistency. Always try as much as possible, to have a brand consistency with your graphics. If you are the type that prefers cartoonish looking graphics, then try to stick with it. If you prefer photorealistic graphics, something that looks like it was a photograph taken, very real, stick with it. If you prefer pictorials, all these stick figures, try as much as possible to always stick with that. The reason is that you are trying to create a brand for yourself. There are people that anywhere you see their blog posts, you kind of like recognize it. So this looks like it must have been created by Joseph, because the graphic looks like he's kind of styling graphics. I can tell you today that anywhere I see a book cover designed by Bishop Ibro Zion, I can tell. I'm beginning to understand his choice for fonts. I'm beginning to understand his preference for color. And I'm beginning to understand his general graphic style. So once I see his book cover, my guess is almost 90% accurate that this is probably designed by my mentor here, because he has built a brand. So try to build a brand consistency. That way, you put yourself in people's subconscious. Even when they go to sleep, they are thinking about you, because your brand has gotten into their subconscious because it is consistent. Make your graphic reader friendly. Okay. Don't bring in abstract graphics like Picasso's drawing that people will be wondering, is this what you do or what? Let it be reader friendly, something that everyone, it can just cut across. People can look at the graphic and at a glance understand what this picture is trying to say. Okay, all right. Why WordPress? Let me fulfill my promise here. The other time I said I'll talk about it. Why WordPress? Why not Blogger? Why not Buy Me a Coffee? Why not GoDaddy? Why not Weebly? Why not any other one? Why WordPress? One, because with WordPress, you can get full ownership over your platform. WordPress, just like Canva, just like ChatGPT, allows you to run on the free version. But then anytime you want to take full ownership of the free version, you want to pay for that name so that that name becomes customized. It now becomes like your website. You can do that. If you want to run on the free version, WordPress allows you to do that as much as possible. 2, monetization. WordPress allows you to monetize your platform. Okay? That means you can insert payment gateway. Sorry, you can do affiliate marketing, and all sorts of things, because it has the provision to allow you to engage other people so that you can monetize your platform. WordPress allows you to monetize your platform in several ways. Another advantage of WordPress is that it is SEO friendly, search engine optimization friendly. Okay? It allows people to search, Google platform, to search for your content and find it easily, because, hello? Is anyone with me? Hello? Okay. See the picture, give me a 4 on the chat, except if you can't see my screen. Indeed, am I together with people? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so this is the picture that Gemini has created for me. I can see a Nigerian housewife there, an African housewife. Even if she's not Nigerian, at least she's African. How do I know? Because of her dressing. See her in wrapper, see my prompt that she should pack the baby. She's sitting at home. There is a feeder beside her, and then there is a laptop there, signifying that indeed this woman is connected to the internet and she's doing one or two things on the internet. And I like this picture. Okay, so I'm going to copy this picture, and then I'll take it to my Canva, and I'll drop it there. Good, and this is the picture. So now with the picture in my Canva, I'm going to right click on the picture, and then this option window pops up, and I'll scroll down to this one that says replace background, because I want the entire picture to carry the whole space on the book cover. I will go for this option and say, please replace the background with the entire picture. And this is it. Okay. And this is it. Okay. So next thing, I want to look for a text that looks good. Okay, no, before that, let me go back, copy the title of the book. I can drop a text box actually before coming to drop the title of the book. So let me add a text box somewhere. Good, is there. So I go back to ChatGPT. What is that title of the book again? Remember, now it's like we have gone back to Blogpreneur, but it is because I want to use the picture of the book as my featured picture. Okay, and this is the digital skills that pay 12 home-based online businesses for Nigerian stay-at-home wives. And I simply copy it. So I go back to my Canva, zoom in a bit so that I can see clearly what I'm doing. Take one of the text box, and then Control A and highlight everything and drop the title in there. But remember, I have a title for the book and a subtitle. So I'm going to cut out the subtitle, the main title, and drop it in the other text box. And this is it. So I'm going to increase the size of this. Okay. Increase it some more. I want it to be as legible as possible. But now the write-up is white. It's not working on this background. So meaning I need to give it a color so that it stands out from the background. What color will do? Let me try this blue and see. And I click out. Is this blue working? Okay, it appears to be working. If I am not satisfied with that, I can still choose to give the text some effects. Maybe give it a shadow. Okay, this doesn't look so good for me, so I can change the effects again. Perhaps I'll outline it. Okay, I think this is more like it. Let me change the outline color to complete black so that the title really stays out. Good. Digital skills that pay. All right, now let's come back to the subtitle. This is it. Okay. The subtitle equally is not standing out. So let me try a bold color this time around. Don't be afraid to try. Okay, this is not working. So let me select it again and see if I can help myself out with an effect. Maybe let me use this background effect and see. Okay, good. The background helps my content, my title to be legible, but then this my choice of yellow color, I don't think it is good. And then what is one color that contrasts with yellow very well? I think blue does. So let me go with blue and see. Good. And I can increase this some more. Okay. Right. I can increase this some more. All right. So there you go. My book has a title. And the subtitle is there. Next thing I want to do is to add my name as the author. Just a very simple book cover design. Okay. All right. If you get this, please give me a 9 on the chat. If you get this, please give me a 9 on the chat. Thank you, sir. Right, I see that 9. See that 9. Thank you. All right. So let's leave it at this point and assume this is my book cover. So I'm going to download this. I have so many designs under this project. That's why you see it displaying as page 21. Okay. So I'm going to download it as JPEG, and then I'll say download only the current page, which is page 21. All right, download it. And it is going to download the book for me, the book cover as a PNG. And with the book cover ready, good. This is the book cover here is downloading. So now I am beginning to have something that I can use as my featured image that I want, because I'm talking about my book launch in my content. So I would like people to see the book itself. So I'll come back to ChatGPT, sorry, Gemini, and I'll upload the book. Okay. And it should be in my download folder. This is it. Then I upload it to Gemini. Now that it is there, I'll tell Gemini, generate a 3D book cover mock-up using soft shadows. Okay. Then I'll say make the background pure white. Okay, so let me see what Gemini will give me. The Gemini goes beyond just, touching your pictures and just asking it to generate random things. You can use Gemini to generate important business things, things you can use in your business. This is my book cover in 3D form. Okay, there you go. So I usually use Gemini to generate my book cover in 3D mockup, except if I have concern for the spine here. But works that the spine is not important to me, I just go to Gemini and I tell it create a 3D mockup for the book. So I'm going to download this. Ready to use for my WordPress. Okay, so now let's go back to WordPress. And then I will select the book from the download folder. And this is it. And WordPress will automatically bring it to the media library. So that anytime you need to use this book again for any content, I do not need to go back to another drive, to the drive where the book is, and begin to search for the content. I will find it in the media library. And all I need to do is to select it and say, make it the feature image. And here it is. Okay? And here is the book cover as the featured image. Now, next thing is, do I want to publish this blog post now, right now, or do I want to schedule it? And I say blogpreneurs usually schedule their blog posts. They don't usually publish it live. There is a reason, because they are strategic, they are intentional. Now, please, as a blogpreneur, never just climb your system, go on cyberspace and just create a blog post and post. Unless something is happening at that moment and you want to take opportunity of the situation. Otherwise, schedule your blog post. And this is the reason. Depending on your target, nobody is on the internet 24/7. Not even we coaches who run programs like this. Nobody is on the internet 24/7. So study your target. When is your target most likely to be on the internet? And it is at that point that you will love to drop your content. If your target audience are teachers, for example, in real life, that's my target audience, teachers. It will be foolish of me to create a content and then drop it 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. They will be in the classroom. They won't have time to read the content. In fact, some schools will not even allow teachers to carry their phones into the classroom. Even in the staff room, some strict schools have hours that they allow teachers access to their phones. I know of a school here in town that you don't even have access to your phone at all. They'll tell your people, if there's an emergency, call the school line. The moment you enter the school, you submit your phone. Okay? So if I drop a content around these hours, they likely won't see it. If I drop the content around 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., they still won't likely see it, because around that time, some of them are closing and they are on their way home. 6 in the evening, they might get home, but they are trying to prepare dinner and take care of the children, put them to bed and other things. So they still may not have time. But by 7, 8 p.m., some of them are done with their household chores, they are done with some other things, and they are beginning to unwind for the day, so they have time for social media. So that would be a good time for me to drop my content. That's why I can schedule it for that time. It's possible that 7, 8 a.m. I might not be free, but I can generate this post in the morning and simply schedule it. By 7 p.m., it goes live, whether I am online or not. I hope we get that. Okay. For this practical, we are talking about housewives, sit-at-home housewives, and it appears like they have all hours of the day. So I can make it anytime. But then don't forget, they still do work at home. They cook dinner in the morning, they are trying to dress the children to school, possibly package some food items for the man as he's leaving the house. So anything 6, 7, 8, I won't have their attention. But most likely around 10, 11 in the morning, the children have gone to school, Oga has gone to work, They do one sweeping or the other, maybe wash the place or something. Usually around 10 before afternoon when they start cooking dinner, they have some time. So I think 10 a.m. would be a good time that I can schedule my post. So I'm going to tell WordPress, I want to schedule this post for tomorrow, February 12th, and I want to make it 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. in the morning. So once I do that, you see this publish will change. It used to be published, but now it's showing schedule. It means this post is on schedule. If I hit schedule here, WordPress servers will receive the content, but they won't make it live. They will keep it until tomorrow, February 12th, 10, then they will release it. So, but we are not yet done. Last few things we need to do, we'll come down here. Always remember that you are creating a content for visibility. You want people to see your content. I will always say this, if you create a content and then people do not see, they are not aware that there's a content there, then your aim has been defeated. What have you achieved? Nothing. The essence is that people will know that there is something like this so that they can access it. And WordPress has some few things to help you generate visibility for your content. Those things are what I talked about earlier on the search engine optimization things. Okay? For example, categorization. WordPress allows me to categorize my content. What is categorization? Where does my content belong to? I love using the library as an analogy. I say when you go into the library to locate a book, the first thing you do is to go to the shelf where you think that book will likely be found. If you are looking for a book on mechanical engineering, and then you decide to go to the shelf of history, chances of you spending the whole day in that library and not locating that book is high. Because when you go to the history shelf, all that you will find are books to do with history. But if you go to the engineering shelf, you are most likely going to find that book there because the book is about engineering. So if I create a blog post and I want people to easily search for it and find it, then it will be good for me to categorize it. If I decide not to categorize it, WordPress will collect it like that. But then I stand the risk of my content just getting lost among the crowd. So this my content is talking about digital entrepreneurship, and I can decide to create a category on entrepreneurship and click on it. I think the content is also talking about empowering women. So why not? I can place it under the category of empowerment, meaning that when people are searching for the content, they can type empowerment. This content was under, I think the content is under empowerment. So they type empowerment and then Google search will help them bring all contents over the world that has to do with empowerment, including my own, because I categorize it under empowerment. I tell people to also create yourself as a category, because by the time you become a brand name, sometimes people are looking for something. They can't remember your content, but they say, boy, it was written by Ron Kenoly. It's a song sung by Ron Kenoly. So they just go and search all songs by Ron Kenoly. Ron Kenoly has become a categorization. And then all his songs will drop down because he's a brand. I can't remember the book, but I know it was written by Dr. Kwebanwo. So they just searched Dr. Kwebanwo, and then everything related to Dr. Kwebanwo will display because that name is a brand. Okay, so even if you are not yet a brand, create a category with your name, because someday the idea is that you will become a brand. And then, is it talking about personal development? Not really. Is it talking about teachers? No. Technology? Well, maybe. So I can pick that, and then even the site name, I can give it a category. And with this in place, I'm good to go. Next thing, I come down, and there is a function here called tags. Tags work like categorization, but tags are more specific. Okay, categorizations are broad. This book falls under engineering, that is all. But is it about mechanical engineering? Is it about chemical engineering? Is it talking about civic engineering? Is it talking about electrical engineering? No, what sort of engineering? Now, tags will help you specify where your book belongs. In the sense that tags are words that are actually found in the content that you are dropping. And that's why they are more specific. For example, looking at this, my content here, I see the word this 360 inner circle club. So I can say tag is this 360 inner circle club. That is one tag, and I'll separate it with a comma. Okay? With tag are words that are found right inside the content. I can go down again and look. Okay, Valentine's season, we are talking about Valentine. Somebody will quickly remember, oh, that thing has to do with Valentine. I can't remember the day, but I know it was during the Valentine season. So I'll pick Valentine as a tag. And digital skills that pay, good. That is even the name of the book. So why not make it a tag? Because that is what the post is talking about in the first place. Okay. So look for tags, and professionally, I would advise don't look for more than 10 tags. Okay? 7, 10 is good. Let your search engine not look so clustered. Okay, but get like 5, 7, at most 10 good tags, catchy words that are found in your content, and make them your tags. And with all of these things in place, I'm ready to drop my post, and I will say schedule. And the final confirmation, WordPress will just ask me, do you really want to schedule this for tomorrow, 10 a.m.? Do you want the view to be public? Or do you want the view to be private? Only admins and editors like me can see it. Or do you want it password protected? Only people who have paid and subscribed to this platform and I have given them password access into it that can see? Or do I want to just make it public? It's a book launch. I think I want to make it public. I want everyone to come and give me money. And all of that. Are they linked? Is the blog post still linked to my social media handles? Yes, it's linked to my Facebook, to my Instagram, and all of that. I'm good with this, then I say schedule. So now WordPress will collect this content and store it on their server. So by tomorrow, 10 a.m., it will go live. Whether I am on WordPress or not, whether I am live or not, whether I am even alive or dead, it will publish. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, by 12 tomorrow, by 10 a.m. tomorrow, February 12th, the post will go live at 10 a.m. And 10 a.m. is a time that I envisage sit-at-home housewife would have some few moments to themselves, and they will likely go into social media. And hopefully, as they do that, they will come across my post, and they will read it, and they will be aware that there is a book that addresses their challenges by showing them 12 digital skills that they can do, while they are at home. They don't need to leave the house, right in the comfort of the house. The book will even show them the tools they need. They just need a computer, perhaps a modem, a Wi-Fi, internet connection, and they are good. And they will do business online, and they will make income for themselves. And I hope that I'll see them at my book launch, and they'll purchase this book, and I'll make some money. Okay. So, okay, this makes sense to you. Please give me an 8 on the chat. If this blogging makes sense to you, in the sense that the strategy, it looks good, it's making sense. The content of the post is making sense. The scheduling makes sense. The categorization makes sense. The tagging makes sense. The overall objective makes sense. And you think this guarantees that I will likely have that. It's going to be difficult for me not to have conversions based on this content. You agree that I will have conversions because everything looks purposeful and intentional. Please give me an 8 on the chat. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see those 8. All right, questions, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, I'm ready to take your questions. If there are questions, let's have them coming in. Questions, please. We are almost approaching the closing hour, so let's take questions. Okay, is there a question in the chat? Let me check. Okay, somebody gave me an A rather than 8. Good. I trust that that A means 8. Okay, questions? Questions? No question. It appears like everything made sense. All right, I'm glad to know that everything makes sense and that it is doable. So, since that makes sense, let me stop sharing. Let me just stop sharing. I think I'm ready to give us the assignment for the day. Okay, so the assignment is simple. Okay, now first of all, let me ask, how many of us have a WordPress account? If you do, give me a 1 on the chat. If you do not have one, give me a 0. How many people have a WordPress account? I think Mr. Samuel has one. I expect that. Coach has one. I expect that. Moses, Simply Bread, and Blessed, Alpha Francis, Quincy Agidi, Professor Victor, you should have one by now. I'll be surprised not to see good. You have one by now. Okay. All right. So if you have a WordPress account, the assignment is simple and it is this. Create a blog post in whatever niche of your choice. But let your blog post carry these factors that we have discussed today. Strategy, intention, the mindset is income. You are promoting one item, whether an affiliate item or a product of your own. You are promoting a book launch. You are promoting a webinar. You are promoting your YouTube tag. Whatever it is, let it be intentional with income generation at the back of it. And then publish it and drop the link in the WhatsApp group. If you do not have a WordPress account, go create one. Go on the free version. A WordPress gives you the opportunity to run a free version. It is simple. It is just like creating your Gmail. Go to wordpress.com and tell it you want to create a profile. You are not logging in because you do not have one. It will take you through the process. It's just a prompting process. And then submit the name that you want your site to carry. If somebody beats you to the name, if you go and type Amen Digital, for example, it has been taken, WordPress will reject it. It will tell you this name is not available. Pick another one, just like Gmail. So you keep giving it names until it tells you that the name you are giving is available. Then you continue. So if you do not have a WordPress account, create one and create your very first post. And likewise, drop your link in the WhatsApp group. Let's see it. All right. Thank you for being a wonderful audience today.
Lord, your spirit move. We are transcended. So
and coming.
Lift our hands and praise Lord. Your spirit move. We are transcended. So we lift our hands and praise Lord.
Microphone is on. Spirit move. We are muted. So I'll hand over to Coach Ajisape at this moment. I don't know if we have announcements, anything we need to know before we close class up.
Right. Thank you so much. Let's give Coach an emoji. Let's appreciate Coach. Thank you. That was a wonderful training out there. We really appreciate and love you. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. People of God, as you can see, this is a great value added tonight. Honestly, I'm lifted. My soul is lifted. Thank you so much for the training. God bless you, sir. Now, if you have not joined the WhatsApp group, I think I posted that earlier today. You want to join that group, And then please go and do your assignment. One of the way through which you keep on learning is by doing your assignment. No matter how simple you think the assignment is, make sure you do it. That is when you really know that you gain, you gain value, and then you know how to do it. So bring your assignment and post it in the group. That is how we go. Tomorrow is another day. Let's come early. Let's invite people to join this group. And if you want to go further, I will recommend you to our 14 days bootcamp. Very important. Just for 5,000 naira, you want to join that train. It's very important. You are going to learn a lot. What you are learning right now is just little tip of the iceberg. By the time you join that group, you will learn a lot. So please try to join. Subscribe, pay that money, and join. And God bless you for that. So tomorrow we'll meet again. If there is no any question, have a wonderful day. From me to you, it's a bye-bye. Thank you, sir.